Hello and welcome to Amanda Foxoven's EDPS 457 application. I'd like to begin first with my philosophy of teaching. My own personal philosophy of teaching is that each student's individual needs and voice should be carefully considered by the teacher in his or her planning. Students require aid, and when it comes both to learning and how to behave, and self-efficacy is a necessity for student success, and teachers need to do all that they can to improve the self-efficacy of their students. And I've chosen 3 terms: behaviorism, modeling, and group differences. The terms that I've chosen from behaviorism are stimulus, response, reward, and punishment. A stimulus is an environmental event presented to a learner. A response is the behavior emitted by a learner as a result of the environmental event. A reward is a stimulus that reinforces behavior. And a punishment is a stimulus that leads to a decrease in the behavior. In behaviorism, a stimulus is presented to the learner in order to elicit a response. If the response is viewed as being appropriate, it is reinforced by offering a reward to the learner. If the elicited response is deemed to be inappropriate, the learner is punished in hopes that the punishment will decrease the behavior. This is known as operant conditioning. Every day, teachers present a number of stimuli to their students, and students will choose to behave in a specific manner as a response to the various stimuli presented by the teacher. I believe that teachers will find the use of rewards and punishments to be very effective when reinforcing or deterring specific behaviors in their classroom. And my question for behaviorism is, can we always know what students will deem to be a reward or a punishment? And I said, not necessarily. As educators, we may send students out to the hall when they act up in class as a form of punishment, but some students may view that as some kind of reward. One can never know exactly how students will react to a given reward or punishment. It is a system of guess and check. The best thing we can do as educators is to get to know our students on an individual level so that we might better know how they'll respond. The next term I selected is modeling. And the 4 terms I chose for that are behavioral, cognitive, peer, and expert. Behavioral modeling is actions or to demonstrate how to do a task. Cognitive modeling would be to tell how to think about the task, and it would also be thinking out loud in the classroom. Peer modeling is useful for motivation. It is oftentimes a person who is about the same age or ability level, and an expert model is useful for learning, and it is flawless or perfect. A behavioral model models only the actions, while a cognitive model also discusses their thought process while performing an action. Behavioral and cognitive models can be both peers and experts. Peer models are most useful for the purposes of motivation, while expert models are useful for the purpose of learning an action or performing a task. In the classroom, teachers might group students together so that one of the students can serve as a peer model for another student in order to motivate them. A teacher might reward a student with praise for a behavior so that other students know to watch that student as a behavioral model. It is also that teachers fulfill the role of expert models in the classroom, doing activities right along with students to show them how to do it properly. It is most helpful, at least in my opinion, when the teacher is a cognitive model and talks out loud about their thought process while doing tasks. And my question for modeling is, are teachers always the expert model? I said, I think that students often think of expert models as being older, more experienced, and wiser as a result of that experience. In an elementary classroom, the teacher will almost always be the expert model because they are older and therefore wiser in the students' minds. However, when a college student, such as ourselves, graduate and we move right into high school classrooms, it may take time before we are considered expert models by our students. My next term will be group differences. To see the continuation of my application, you'll have to go to the next video.